And we are back again. We're going to be talking about the WOW Project once again. I'm here with Mr. Palmer Bryant, who has been doing his own good deed for quite some time now with a gentleman in his community. We're bringing him here today to talk about this so he can shed some light on exactly what this good deed is. And we're shedding light on exactly what the basis of this program is about, things like what he is doing. So before we get started, of course, who are your people and where are you from?
I'm from what you call the Prospect community. My father was a Bryant. We originally lived at Maxton, and then my wife had some property down in the Prospect area where she was from, so we decided to build a home there, and we moved over in the Prospect area, and I attend New Prospect Methodist Church.
All right. God's country, I've heard it called so many times.
It's God's country.
Awesome. Now, I think I'm aware that you are actually a part of a heritage group, right?
That's correct.
Which one are you a part of?
Elders Advisory Committee.
Now, how long have you been with them?
Approximately 5 years, 5.5 years.
So quite some time.
Some time.
Now, how long have you've participated in it? 5.5 years. Now, like I just said, introduced you as you're helping someone right now. Who is this man? Like, how old is he?
The gentleman I'm helping would be in roughly, I would say, better than probably 75 years of age.
Really? Now, what exactly is the good deed that you're fulfilling right now for him?
He has quite a few medical problems,
right.
And he's unable to transport himself to meet his appointments for his doctors. So the only thing that he has to do is just inform me whenever his doctor's appointment is, and then I pick him up. I go to his home, I pick him up, and he has, we have to go to several places for his doctor's appointments. I take him to Maxton for one appointment. At Lumberton, I have to go to 3 different doctors there for different appointments, and then I take him over to Fairmont
right.
for an appointment. So it's something that he feels comfortable that whenever he tells me that I can do it. Now, they have been an occasion that whenever he told me I was obligated of something else, and so we work that out to where that doesn't happen, that if he knows 3-4 days in advance and he tells me, then he knows for a fact that I'm going to be there to pick him up, take him to his doctors, and other places if he has to go while we're out, and then take him back home.
So you guys have a pretty good arrangement going on.
We do.
Open communication. Now, does he ever have more than one doctor's appointment in one day?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I have had to take him to as many as two doctor's appointments.
In separate locations? Now, I know you mentioned 3, Lumberton, Fairmont, and Maxton.
Usually, if it's 2, it be over at Lumberton.
Right.
Whenever I take him to Fairmont, that's usually the only appointment he has, or whenever I take him to Maxton, that's the only appointment he has.
Right.
But he has 3 different doctors in Lumberton, and sometime I have to go to 2 of the doctors.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, do you get paid to do this?
No, I don't get pay. It's something that I've been blessed and able to do, and God's blessed me, so I'm supposed to take and let His blessings flow.
All right, amazing. Now, how did it come about that you started to do this good deed for this man?
Well, it just happens that he attends church along with me,
right.
and he knew that I was retired, and so he just asked me one time, did he need to go to the doctor and didn't have anyone to take him. Let me say this, when we had our former pastor was there, it was at our church, he was full-time, and he would take him. But our former pastor, he retired, so then that left the person that was taking him, that left that spot vacant.
Right.
So then he asked me, so then I picked up.
Right.
And so he knows all he has to do is let me know that he has an appointment, and I always inform him what time I'll be at his home, and I pick him up, take him home, take him to the doctor, take him when he gets through his visits, and then if he has any extra places or other places he needs to go, I take him there, then I bring him back home.
Now let me ask you a hard question. I know that you said how you become to be the person is because that spot became vacant, but what do you think would happen if you didn't do it?
If I didn't do it, there would be times that he would miss doctor appointments.
Right.
It's not that he doesn't have relatives.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I don't know whether he felt like I was more dependable or what. So that's why that I try to make sure that when he has a doctor's appointment, that I try to free myself up in order to be able to take him to his appointment.
That's amazing. So let me ask you, I know that you said it's by the blessings of God that has enriched you to be able to do what you do, but how does it make you feel to know that you're doing this for this man?
Oh, it's a blessing.
Every day, every day. Now, if you wouldn't mind, what could you say to others to encourage them to want to do good deeds, to fulfill those wishes of others who are not at that advantage to do that?
The way that I look at that is that if we live, we never know what the future may hold.
No, we don't.
And whenever they see an individual that needs help, and then they don't do it, they could, in later years, they could become like that person was and get no help. So the best that we can do sometimes is not good enough. But I encourage people that if you see someone that's in desperate need of help, no matter what it is, something around the house or whether it's take them somewhere or whatever it is, be willing to feel that need that they have. Because maybe you're their last choice, the last person they can ask, and if you say no, what are they supposed to do?
Right, right.
So I would encourage, if you have the opportunity and are able, and somebody needs you to do something for them, or if you know that they need something did, even though they haven't asked you, volunteer to do it for them, because you'll be blessed.
That's so true. I can't reiterate that in any other way but to say that it's so true. I do want to know though, how do you think that it makes this gentleman feel that you're stepping out there and you're rearranging your schedules at times and coming out? Sometimes maybe, let's be real, sometimes when you don't even feel like it, but you still do it out of the goodness of your heart, and because, like you said, God has enabled you to do that. How do you think it makes him feel?
He feels that he can depend on me, and that makes him, if he has a doctor's appointment, let's say tomorrow, and he has, and no one is willing to take him, then probably lays awake at night wondering, how am I going to get to the doctor, because I have some reason for going. So it makes him feel good to know, and let me say that out of all the length of time that I've taken him, there was only one incident where that I was obligated, and I explained to him, which I was able to get. He was able to get someone else that time. But it was a matter that it was like he spoke to me like today, and he needed to go the next day, and I had made other obligations. But I try to make sure, and he always informs me a few days in advance. And I always, if there's anything, I work around that to be sure that he goes to his doctor. Because I feel like that is very important, that one day I might be in the same situation.
You're right. Now, how long have you been doing this for him?
I've been doing this now for the past year and a half.
It's a year and a half. And I bet you enjoy every minute of it.
Every bit of it.
And I'm sure that you've seen your good deed come back to you in different ways in your life, because I think as we all know, when we do something good for someone, it will return itself to us in some way, fashion, shape, or form. So there's always an incentive to do something good for someone, regardless of who it is or what it is. So I appreciate you, Mr. Palmer, for coming out today and sharing with us this amazing story. It truly has touched my heart, because it's something that inspires a community, inspires our people to continue doing those good things and continue the revolving circle, which is so important.
If you see someone that you know that needs help and you're able to give it, because you never can tell whenever you could be in the same situation, and that you would like for someone then to be able to help you.
Couldn't have said it better. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.